Hello guys,
Hello.
It is March 3rd, 2017. Tell me you have not heard enough about the Jeff Sessions issue.
We're going to have a session
Russia,
on sessions, and I don't know where to start the session. There's like a lot of sessions and some successions on sessions.
I'm
because
sick of the
once you hear
successions
about
on
one
sessions.
thing, then something else succeeds that, okay? So I'm actually going to go backwards in this. First off, the Obama State Department set up the Russian ambassador meeting with Sessions at the RNC.
I love that.
So here's the thing. The first meeting that Jeff Sessions had with the Russian ambassador in 2016 was at the Republican National Convention in Cleveland. 100 ambassadors were invited, and it was the Heritage Foundation working with the State Department, and Jeff Sessions was the keynote speaker. And then afterwards,
He found a Russian, and he went into a backroom closet, and they had talks about how the Russians want to take over America, and Jeff Sessions agreed to that with a secret handshake. That's pretty much what happened. He had this really secret meeting where he signed documents that was handing over the keys to our
Russian
nation.
ambassador approached the senator as he left the stage and thanked him for his remarks. That's the first meeting. And it's hardly an occasion, much less a venue in which a conspiracy to interfere with the November election could be hatched.
Hang on though, it goes back to the actual original probably meaning of the word meeting, which means I have met you. Hello, how are you? My name is Michelle. Nice to meet you.
The second meeting took place in September in Sessions' office in the former senator's capacity as a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, not as a surrogate for the Trump campaign, Justice Department spokeswoman Sarah Isgur Flores says. Now, according to Isgur Flores, the two men discussed relations between the two countries and not the election. Now,
no, it wasn't. No.
The president of our country is not exactly happy about this. He sees this as a witch hunt, which you could call it a witch hunt. You could call it a conspiracy to commit fraud against the people of the American people, which is what
the people of the American people
would call it. But let's just, when Donald Trump tweets, if any of you have ever tweeted before, it's incredibly annoying because you cannot get out a full thought before you get into the red. I'm not exactly, for me, it's easier just to retweet what somebody else has already come up with because I am not good at zinging things. As you watch the show,
our 20 or 30 minute long shows should tell you that we're not short-winded.
Exactly. And so when I explain myself, I need to explain myself. So Donald Trump, he's the president and people are looking at his feed, so it doesn't matter. So it goes backwards, which is, you have to read it. InfoWars put it on it forwards, but if you read it on his timeline,
You have to go down to the bottom
and then go back up.
That's okay because that's what the Hebrew people, the Israelis read their Bible backwards, read the Torah backwards.
So if you don't want to have to read backwards, I'm going to read it forwards to you. Jeff Sessions is an honest man, Trump said. He did not say anything wrong. He could have stated his response more accurately, but it was clearly not intentional. This whole narrative is a way of saving face for Democrats losing an election that everyone thought they were supposed to win. The Democrats are overplaying their hand. They lost the election, and now they have lost their grip on reality. That is my favorite line of this whole thing. Even the next one is pretty close to it. The real story is all the illegal leaks of classified and other information. It is a total witch hunt. So we had Donald Trump's speech, and everybody came out, and they were like in support of him, but they can't do it. They just can't do it. They can't stay there, right? So the hunt is on, and this just so happened to come out the day after the speech and get the ball rolling. Right. They're ready for anything, okay? And they're not going to win.
Because they wanted to tell you that that's when Trump became president. When they were giving him something there.
Okay. So he went on Tucker Carlson. You watched that whole thing. I watched it through. Nothing really new came out of that except for there's a spot where Tucker says, if I can find it here.
You just had it up.
No, that was a different one. I have so many. This is a big thing, so I have a lot brought up. Okay, so Other reporters had falsely reported that there was a phone call. And so while he's doing this interview with Jeff Sessions, Tucker gets a call from Sessions' campaign and says, no, there was no phone call. So I'm just going to play that bit.
That will just have to play out, and as it always does in a democracy.
So we just received a call from your office, and I'm hearing from my producer that they are saying that there was not a phone call between you and the Russian ambassador that's been included in press accounts. Was there?
I don't recall any such phone call,
You don't
no.
recall any such phone call.
Here's
you think
the thing. What they do, and what actually, there's a really great article that explains this from the Young Turks, which has the basic formula for every shocking Trump-Russia revelation.
Number one, the Washington Post and the New York Times release an article that links somehow Russia to Trump.
It seems extremely damning.
That meaning this time we really got him.
But what's really interesting is always these two newspapers, and the Washington Post, if many of you don't know, that it is owned, it was bought in about, I think, 2013 or 13.
By Amazon.com.
Well, by the CEO. And he just so happened to get a $600 million contract with who?
The CIA.
The CIA. And who is leaking the information to the Washington Post?
The CIA.
Ding, 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 ding. You win. Does anybody else see a collusion here? Maybe these people should actually be the ones under investigation by the Justice Department.
Yeah. So number two. Then the anti-Trump pundits and Democrats react reflectively to the news, express shrieking outrage, and proclaim this finally proves untoward collusion between Trump and Russia. A smoking gun.
Then the former Clinton people connect the dots in a manner kind of like they're comparing it to
the Glenn
Beck right-wing conspiracies, which is actually kind of what we do really well.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it so well.
No,
because we are the truth and they're false fakers.
Fakers, you
liars, fake fakers. Then all these self-proclaimed legal experts come and opine. The new revelation entails some kind of criminally actionable offense, like the 200-year-old Logan Act that took Flynn down, that Flynn. He wasn't in violation of. Then the notion of this is the key. The notion of the Russian collusion gets in the minds of the people. And then the people go out crazy. It's the Russians. It's the Russians. It's the Russians.
And it says it's key to toppling Trump because it becomes further implanted in the minds of the
So with the
Democrats
MoveOn.org and all the different Obama crazies who are learning these things, they're actually, then you get the phone call, now go and protest here, which they just so happened to, a group ended up at the Justice Department with...
Now hang on though, what makes me mad is they are trademarking resist placards. Now listen, okay, Alex Jones kind of branded the whole resistance. You are the resistance, which kind of really isn't where our name came from, but sort of. It was, we were resisting them, but now Trump's been in office for 2 months, and now we have to resist him.
And now they're chanting what?
Lock him up. You can't steal. All they can do is steal other people's slogans.
So not original. So not original.
Oh my gosh. Childish. Can't you get your own slogans?
And so it just goes on, then pointing out these glaring flaws in the latest anti-Russian frenzy is immediately construed by cynics as defending Trump or defending Sessions when it's really not, and they're just trying to point out the truth, but it doesn't matter because people who spent the next 12 hours frothing at the mouth gradually come to realize that their initial fervor was probably overblown, and that a more sober look at the actual facts at hand revealed that the anti-Trump chorus probably got ahead of itself once again.
And you know what? I actually don't think that they think that. I think they know that they're falsifying this stuff and blowing it up like it's some big deal and then just kind of... And it works, though.
Democrats who sought to capitalize on the uproar end up looking extremely foolish, which...
You know what? They actually... They do to those of us that can actually think. But to everybody else, I think they just forget about it. We have short-term
Well, this is the crazy part. Any contacts with the Russians on a Republican side is immediately sinister when the Democrats meet with Russians all the time and it's not sinister. And so it's this crazy conspiracy with the Russians.
So it goes on to, and then it tells you at the very end, repeat and do all. This is the formula for, and they keep doing it over and over and over again, and it's really ridiculous.
Was cold, all alone. No place for home. Every day, so afraid. But she called my name.